Hi, I'm Zach with Josh's Frogs, and today we're going to talk about what you should know before you go bioactive. Let's start by talking about what the idea of bioactivity or bioactive is. It's been named a lot of things. Latest tagline seems to be bioactive tanks. In the past, it's been called vivarium, literally place of life, something that contains animals and plants. The idea is that we're relying on and replicating natural systems at a smaller scale, kind of like that awesome Pauly Shore movie Biodome, to try to make a more of a complete system that's not without excess inputs from the outside world, but it's lower maintenance for us. So generally you're relying on little bugs and mushrooms and live plants to process and break down waste, and even provide a little bit of extra food for your inhabitants. Oftentimes dart frogs, but we've seen a lot more people take care of invertebrates, hermit crabs, your tarantulas. Heck, we have a ball python and a blue-tongued skink at home and in my wife's classroom on bioactive setups that require very little care and traditional cleaning. There's a few things you should know about bioactive before we get started. Going bioactive, starting out, it generally requires a little bit more research than if you're going to keep your animal on some felt cloth or on some sand or gravel. In the end, bioactivity is more of a complete system. Definitely looks nicer. It's more attractive in your house with live plants. You've got a little piece of that ecosystem you can get your animal to live in, and we feel a lot of times it's a much better living conditions for your animal too. It's more similar to what they'd experience in the wild. And a lot of times you see them being more likely to breed or displaying more naturalistic behaviors you might not see otherwise if you're keeping them more simply in traditional methods. Going bioactive does tend to be a little bit more expensive at startup, but we see those costs replace themselves quickly. You're not regularly buying substrate to replace or spending that time, replacing a substrate and bleaching off cage decor. Instead, maybe every month or two, you're coming in and cleaning some glass and trimming some plants and making sure your critters are all right. There's kind of 6 big things to pay attention to in general when we're talking about bioactivity and where to start. The first one is substrate. Bioactive substrates tend to be specialized. Water needs to flow in different ways. They need to be able to grow plants, house microfauna, those little tank janitors, those springtails or isopods that help clean up stuff. And then also not get too waterlogged. There's traditional methods like in your dart frog tanks where you go with a layer of hydroton or false bottom that holds your water reservoir where it flows through. Then a substrate divider, your ABG, and then your moss and leaf litter on top of that kind of replicate that forest floor. We've also moved in the direction with our biobeddings of substrates that actually don't need false bottom. So under normal circumstances, they actually do a good job through certain types of minerals and clays they have in the substrate mixes, actually wicking water to the surface and evaporating it off to help making sure the tank doesn't get too clogged up. Next to think about is fungi. People don't generally get excited about mushrooms, unless maybe the ones you're gonna eat, but you should. Fungi are really, really cool. They're odd, it's not a plant, it's not an animal, what the heck, but it's still good for your tank. They're gonna break down those nutrients and actually process them in a way that your plants can utilize to grow. In fact, some beneficial fungi, often called mycorrhizae, actually pair with plant roots and help them more effectively uptake nutrients, AKA your animal's poop in some rendered form, into plant growth, making the environment cleaner and fresher. In a healthy vivarium, fungi are gonna be present, but they're not gonna cause a problem, and they're really cool to look at. Next in line are bacteria. Bacteria, similar to fungi, they help break things down. Bacteria a lot of times will be coming out of your animal's digestive tract as it makes waste, those feeder bugs you put in. A lot of bacteria are just present and start growing as stuff gets wet, and they grow and they help break stuff down further. Next, you finally have those tank janitors or microfauna, those springtails, isopods, similar bugs to those that we supply here at Josh's Frogs. You can put into that environment, and not only will they reproduce and help clean things up, but they can provide a little bit of extra late night snacks for your other pets that are in there. Then your hardscape, your natural decor. That piece of wood, your natural background, kind of your backbone of your vivarium, what you're planting around and scaping around. It could be rock, both artificial and live. And finally, your live plants. Those plants are not only gonna help humidity as they respirate, they're going to provide usable surface area and hides, visual barriers for your animals. You probably don't want to be stuck in a room staring at somebody all day. Your animals don't either. So having some of those extra visual barriers and plants can help them feel more comfortable. They're also going to uptake nutrients from the soil, actually make your habitat cleaner. And they look good, so they're easy on the eyes, and it definitely helps. I'd really recommend checking out our site, joshsfrogs.com. We have a lot of great blogs and videos on different aspects of bioactivity. By all means, this video was meant to be an overview, but it's a great place to get started on your bioactive adventure. Anyway, I'm Zach with Josh's Frogs, and thanks for checking us out.
Thanks so much for watching this video. Here at Josh's Frogs, bringing nature to your doorstep is more than just our mission, it's our passion. We want you to have the most successful experience possible, so we're going to be here for you before, during, and after your purchase, whether that's with our captive-bred animals, plants, insects, or the wide variety of their care products on our website. You always have access to our dedicated customer service team, on-site nature experts, hundreds of free articles via our blog, and many more videos right here on our YouTube channel, so be sure to subscribe. We're always happy to help. Just shoot us an email or give us a call. You can find all of this information and more at joshsfrogs.com. Thanks again, and see you next time.